Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Ultra Instinct Tarot. My name is Andres, and I will be the one taking care of you for this reading. So, as always, I'm gonna be receiving the help from these three homies. They are same, but different. Okay. So I am going to go ahead and get started with the universe. Interesting. Okay. This is card number 21. What's 9 plus 10? 21. So this is one major arcana. So this is something that is bigger than us. Obviously, the universe is something bigger than us. And this is the last card in the major arcana. Okay. The Great One of the Night of Time. This is path number 32, joining the 9 to the 10. In our tree of life here, this is the path. This path connecting the 9 to the 10. Treat time and all conditions of event as servants of thy will, appointed to present the universe to thee in thy form of thy plan, and blessing and worship to the prophet of the lovely star. Okay. Treat time and all conditions of event as servants of thy will, appointed to present the universe to thee in the form of thy plan. Cool. There's something cool about that little phrase. Okay, let's see. In the card itself, there is consequently a glyph of the completion of the great work in its highest sense, exactly as the Atu of the Fool symbolizes its beginning. The Fool is the negative issuing into manifestation. The universe is that manifestation, its purpose accomplished, ready to return. The 20 cards that lie between these two exhibit the great work and its agents in various stages. The image of the universe in this sense is accordingly that of a maiden, the final letter of the tetragrammaton. The end, huh? Okay, I'll just keep reading what's highlighted, I think. So this card is going to be heavy with info on things that aren't going to make sense because they are bigger than us. Okay, so out to the 21, the universe represents both the planet Saturn and the element Earth. We already know Earth is in some ways a real second-class citizen in the Kabbalistic universe. We also know that because Earth is lowest, it ironically plays a pivotal role in the cosmic scheme of things. Saturn is also very special. As Bina's representative, it is the only planetary sphere above the abyss. In many ways, it is the highest of the high. At the same time, on the Tree of Life, the path of the universe leads from Yesod, which is the 9th and last true Sephira on the tree, down into Malkut, which is only a pendant to the tree, a cosmic dingleberry. How strange that the highest high and the lowest low would be represented by the same card. The universe must indeed hold many mysteries, something Crowley confirms in this passage. The first and most obvious characteristic of this card is that it comes at the end of all, and is therefore the complement of the Fool. It is attributed to the letter Tau. The two cards together accordingly spell the word Ath, which means essence. All reality is consequently compromised in the series of which these two letters from the beginning and the end. This beginning was nothing. The end must therefore be also nothing, but nothing in its complete expansion, as was previously explained. You start from nothing, you return to nothing, but the nothing that is being returned to is nothing in its complete expansion. Change. Yep, a nothing that went through an adventure and changed. So even though it returns back home, it is different. This is the Two of Discs, or the Two of Pentacles, which is the two of the material. And if we're looking at the Tree of Life, it's the first reflection, the Sphere of Wisdom. Jupiter and Capricorn. Even though Jupiter and Capricorn are not usually happy with each other, this high up on the Tree of Life, their differences are more or less forgiven. Crowley calls this card the picture of the complete manifested universe in respect of its dynamics. Interesting, we have more complete manifested universe kind of words. It's interesting. Okay, cool. You're finally seeing the whole picture. Like the twos of the other suits, this card, not the ace, represents the first manifestation of its element. Disc being earth, and as we recall, earth being the throne of spirit, we have in a very real sense completed a great cosmic circuit. Having got to the bottom, Crowley explains, when immediately comes out again at the top. Interesting. That's literally, we were just, okay. Hence, the card manifests the symbolism of the serpent of the endless band. Crowley sings in his Liber, I think is an L of 50. I have no idea. 50. Let's go with 65. Then I beheld myself compassed about with the infinite circle of emerald that encloseth the universe, as if to suggest the nuclei of the first dividing cells of what will soon be the material universe. Two yin-yangs whirl in the center of the two coils of the serpent. The top rotates to the left and contains within itself the symbols of fire and water. The bottom one rotates to the right and contains within itself the symbols of air and earth. Harris tells Crowley that she paid particular attention to the colors. Number 2 of disc is on the stocks, is the serpent's eye to be read. It is a bit awkward as there are several colors introduced in the card which do not belong to Jupiter and Capricorn. I mean the 4 elements colors, and they make inharmonious patches. Did you say nothing about jewels on the serpent? I think you will like him. That was a letter from Harris to Crowley. So this is something about a universe being manifested. Change. The miser. Oh, interesting. Okay. This is the 4 of rainbows, which is also the 4 of discs. So we have 2 pentacle cards coming up. 2, 4. And then a major arcana with the universe. So 4 of discs, 4 pentacles, 4 rainbows. The sphere of mercy. The first one across the abyss. The miser. So this woman has created a fortress around herself, and she is clinging to all the possessions she thinks are her treasures. In fact, she has accumulated so much stuff with which to adorn herself, including the feathers and furs of living creatures, that she has made herself ugly in the effort. This card challenges us to look at what we are clinging to and what we feel we possess that is so valuable it needs to be protected by a fortress. Interesting. It looks like this is part of the path that the universe took. So it's not completely here in this change, but it looks like This is part of the story. This card challenges us to look at what we are clinging to and to what we feel we possess that it is so valuable it needs to be protected by a fortress. It needn't be a big bank balance or a box full of jewels. It could be something as simple as sharing our time with a friend or taking the risk of expressing our love to another. Like a well that is sealed up and becomes stagnant from disuse, our treasures become tarnished and worthless if we refuse to share them. Whatever you're holding on to, remember that you can't take it with you. Loosen your grip and feel the freedom and expansiveness sharing can bring. Interesting. Yeah, remember that if we came from nothing, we're gonna go back to nothing. So you might as well share what you got, since you're gonna lose it anyways. The moment you become miserly, you are close to the basic phenomenon of life: expansion, sharing. The moment you start clinging to things, you have missed the target you have missed. Because things are not the target. You, your innermost being, is the target. Not a beautiful house, but a beautiful you. Not much money, but a rich you. Not many things, but an open being available to millions of things. Rebirth. Interesting. Cool. Yeah, that would be what this nothing that has changed. It will go back to nothing, but it would be different. A rebirth. And this is the 10 of clouds, or the 10 of the mind, the 10 of swords. This is the mind. So we have, look at that, all that gray color is right here again. So this one's above. Let's go like this. I probably can't, but you can see what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. Rebirth. This card depicts the evolution of consciousness as it is described by Friedrich Nietzsche in his book, Thus Spake Zarathustra. He speaks of the 3 levels of camel, lion, and child. The camel is sleepy, dull, self-satisfied. He lives in delusion, thinking he's a mountain peak. Ooh, that sounds like this person. But really, he is so concerned with this other's opinion that he hardly has any energy of his own. Emerging from the camel is the lion. When we realize we've been missing life, we start saying no to the demands of others. We move out of the crowd, alone and proud, roaring our truth. But this is not the end. Finally, the child emerges, neither acquiescent nor rebellious, but innocent and spontaneous, and true to his own being. Whatever the space you're in right now, sleepy and depressed, or roaring and rebellious, be aware that it will evolve into something new if you allow it. It is a time of growth and change. And there's that word change coming up again. In Zen, you are coming from nowhere and you are going to nowhere. No way, dude. Yeah, look at that. Okay. So that's being repeated again. That's like, oh, all right. Something big about that. You are just now here, neither coming nor going. Everything passes by you. Your consciousness reflects it, but it does not get identified. When a lion roars in front of a mirror, do you think the mirror roars? Or when the lion is gone and the child comes dancing, the mirror completely forgets about the lion and starts dancing with the child. Do you think the mirror dances with the child? The mirror does nothing. It simply reflects. Your consciousness is only a mirror. Neither do you come nor do you go. Things come and go. You become young, you become old. You are alive, you are dead. All these states are simply reflections in an eternal pool of consciousness. Nice. See, and this is why I like mixing these 3 decks, because now we have repeated words coming from two different decks. And then the 10 of Swords pops up right next to the 10 of Swords. Interesting. And look at how different these 2 books are going to explain the 10 of Swords, and how right these books both are. Right? We just talked about rebirth, nothing, going back to nothing. This 10 of Swords, it has the words breakdown, defeat, failure, ruin, relief, and closure. Following the Fool on her journey through the swords, we could see her coming to painful end. She was find herself in conflict and under stress. Unable to harness the sword's positive energy, she found herself tempted by its power. She was left with paranoia and fear, knowing that she had used the swords unwisely. Her fears were finally confirmed, leaving her defeated. Has a problem that you have tried to outrun for so long finally caught up with you? Have your worst fears been realized? What situations at home or work are coming to a head? Has hitting rock bottom given you a sense of relief? Perhaps anxiety relents and you can now face your circumstance with certainty and a strange peace. Face your worst fears. Often when we confront our fears, even when we are forced to, they are not as bad as we had imagined. Compared to the constant state of anxiety, it may even be liberating. Take some comfort in no longer worrying about whether it can or can't happen. Recognize lessons. Consider all this a learning experience and take stock of your regrets. Think of what changes you would like to make once you have survived and healed from this ordeal. Now I'm going to read the other one, the other Ten of Swords. This card depicts the evolution of consciousness as it is described by Friedrich Nietzsche in his book, The Spake Zarathustra. He speaks of the three levels of camel, lion, and child. The camel is sleepy, dull, self-satisfied. He lives in delusion thinking he's a mountain peak, but really he is so concerned with others' opinions that he hardly has any energy of his own. Emerging from the camel is the lion. When we realize we've been missing life, we start saying no to the demands of others. We move out of the crowd, alone and proud, roaring our truth. But this is not the end. Finally, the child emerges, neither acquiescent nor rebellious, but innocent and spontaneous, and true to his own being. Whatever the space you're in right now, sleepy and depressed or roaring and rebellious, be aware that it will evolve into something new if you allow it. It is a time of growth and change. In Zen, you are coming from nowhere and you are going to nowhere. You are just now here, neither coming nor going. Everything passes by you, your consciousness reflects it, but it does not get identified. When a lion roars in front of a mirror, do you think the mirror roars? Or when the lion is gone and a child comes dancing, the mirror completely forgets about the lion and starts dancing with the child. Do you think the mirror dances with the child? The mirror does nothing, it simply reflects. Your consciousness is only a mirror. Neither do you come nor do you go. Things come and go. You become young, you become old, you are alive, you are dead. All these states are simply reflections in an eternal pool of consciousness. Ooh, and then we end with the Nine of Pentacles. Look at all that yellow that was in the distance. It's here. It's here. It was there too, even in this card. And we started with yellow. Nine of Pentacles. Achievement, success, prosperity, flourishing, comfort, and resourcefulness. This is the nothing that came out of this and returned home. Should the Fool remain diligent, she will find herself in the Nine of Pentacles, where she can finally relax and enjoy the fruits of her labor. Her journey has not been easy. She had to be dedicated, resourceful, patient, and even give up basic comforts. Her rewards have been hard-earned. There are no real stresses for her right now. She enjoys the freedom and pleasure she worked for. If you had everything you ever wanted, would you feel content, isolated, or bored? Do you enjoy your success? Some of us may feel shame and guilt about our accomplishments. Can you instead learn to just enjoy and take pleasure in the things that you have earned? Now is the time to sit back, relax, and enjoy your flourishing prosperity. Yeah. Enjoy a slower pace of life. When we achieve our goals, the pressure to strive and prove ourselves can disappear, making room for other things in our life. If you've denied yourself comforts and pleasures in the past as you work towards your goals, try to indulge in them now. You deserve it. There's no need to keep being so strict with yourself. Treat yourself. Treat yourself, Gemini. All right. And we'll get some last advice from my precious The Office Oracle deck. That's cool. 2 upside down cards. So there's only a couple in here, and it was just an accident that they were upside down, but they ended up being, these are some of my favorite cards from my deck, the ones that I accidentally made upside down. So let's see what these cards are. Yeah. So this says, so look out world, because old Pammy is getting what she wants, and don't call me Pammy. She normally wouldn't have said the "and don't call me Pammy" part. She would just be okay with other people calling her things she doesn't like being called. Also to note, this is the number 5, which 5 means 5 is all about change. Inner confidence. Channel your inner Pammy. Be more honest. Be confident. Start telling people what you want directly. Be like Pam. Say, look out world, because old Pammy is getting what she wants. Except, don't call her Pammy. She doesn't like that. Yes. Oh, okay. Yep. This one said after a lot of hard work, after a lot of going through it, a lot of change, a lot of rebirth. This is card number 19. No, not 19. 29. Nope, not 29. And we're having a hard time finding this. This is 18. Okay. See, we're having a hard. Okay, today is about today. Even though that took forever. If you were struggling, we're like, come on, let's get to the end. Well, that's not what this card is about. It was about today just being about today. It's going to take a long time. That's perfect. That did take a long time. But we're in no rush, long story couples. Trust. If you have patience, it means you are still waiting for something that's not happening. So go one step further and let go of that patience. A person with no patience is completely here today. They don't wait for anything, as there's nothing to wait for. Today is already here. Everything that is happening is supposed to be happening. There's no rush. Today is just about having today. That was cool. That took forever to find. Alright, and then we are ending it with, yep, exactly. Few words do trick. And I did say the number 29. Remember, I thought this was number 29. So it popped up again. Few word do trick. Why waste time? Say that word when few word do trick. Save time, more success. See you next time.
Te olvida con quién tú estás hablando.
Los teles.